Welcome back. Commercial breaks with Miss Education. I'm Miss Education. So, um, I was in a car with a former student. I was giving him a ride somewhere, and he brought up he had a question about his some girl he was dating. Mind you, I think he was maybe 18, 19 at the time. About some girl he was dating, and it just got me to thinking about certain things. And this is what I said to him. So I'm sharing this
Music
commercial
licensing
break with you
reimagined.
guys. Um, I asked him if this young lady was a Pinto or a Bugatti, right? So for those of you who don't know what a Pinto is, it's a Ford Pinto. It's an old car, very cheapy Flintstone kind of car. It's not one that you brag about. Most people don't. I don't think there are that many on the streets anymore. It's a really old car. And a Bugatti is like some luxury car,
Artlist.io.
like hip hop artists sometimes talk about it in their music videos or whatever. But it's a more high end luxury car. So I asked him if was this girl a Pinto or a Bugatti? Because you see, with a
Music
Pinto,
licensing reimagined.
the owner of a Pinto tends not to generally, right now, this is not everyone, but for the most part, when you own a Pinto, you aren't too particular where you go get your car washed, right? You'll just run it through any machine. Any machine can clean that thing. You're not exclusive as to which gasoline station you go to or what grade you put in it, right? For the most part,
Artlist.io.
you're probably gonna put basic, regular gas in that Pinto. Um, as far as letting people drive your car, when it's a Pinto, it doesn't really matter. You'll let most anyone drive that car without verification of who, what they have to offer. You might not even ask for a license because it's a Pinto. Um, you don't really take care of it because it doesn't hold that much value, right? Those are Pintos versus a Bugatti, right? So if any of us own a Bugatti, I'm pretty sure most of us would go to an elite car wash or just wash it by hand, not letting anyone touch that car. The gas we would put in it, yeah, better believe it's that premium gas, right? We're not putting cheap gas in that car because that car is worth it. Who's driving my car? Mm, not too many people. It's an exclusive number of people who get to drive my car. Just to even ride in my car, you might need a membership to my family, right? It's one of those things when you're in a Bugatti, you move differently, you ride differently, you let specific people ride in the Bugatti. You put specific kind of gas in the Bugatti, right? So now the question was to this young man, the girl you're dating, the girl you're interested in, she a Pinto or a Bugatti? Does she put regular gas in her tank? Or is she about that premium gas, right? Is she exclusive as to what goes into her gas? Does she pay high prices to fill her up? Like, who can ride that car? Do you need a license? Can you come into her car with your dirty boots, your saggy jeans, right? Or do you gotta come correct, clean cut, presentable? Are you worth the look of the Bugatti? Can your vibe match my Bugatti? Right? Those are the questions I told him, and so I say this to young people. Shoot, I say this to anybody who's listening out there. As a woman, we need to know which which vehicle we are. Are we a Pinto or are we the Bugatti? Do we just let anybody ride in this car? Do we put any type of gas in our tank, right? Do we value ourselves? Do we just go to any old car wash and let anyone rub up on us, scratch our paint? Or are we going to level up and become Bugattis? we're intentional about who we interact with. We're intentional about the fuel we're putting inside of us, you know, speaking mentally, right? What is it that's entering your mind when it comes to that car wash? We go to that elite car wash or that hand job, right? Like, not just any machine is gonna rub up on us and scratch our paint. I need something that's going to be precise and meticulous, and if you mess up, you better have insurance because 'cause you're paying for this, you know what I mean? Not just any old mom and pop wash and go kind of place. As men, you need to on two folds. If you want to ride in a Bugatti, then dress the part, be the part, mentally be prepared to ride in a Bugatti. You can't I know, and that's the thing, the Matrix has you thinking that you can get into that Bugatti, unable to formulate a sentence, um, you know, appearing physically a certain way, and that's what society lets you think because I know technically the rappers and the athletes, you actually own the Bugatti vehicle, right? You own the car. Do you own a Bugatti status woman though, right? So for those men out there who aren't NFL, NBA, whatever, those people, and who aren't entertainers, there there are Bugatti women out there, right? And if that's what you're looking for, then I highly recommend that you prepare yourself to enter into a Bugatti. Mentally prepare yourself to deal with a Bugatti, right? They're expensive. And I don't mean just like monetarily, right? Doesn't mean you have to pay thousands of dollars every time you go out with a woman, but mentally, right? They take you places, they make you think, they level up, you know? So, like I said, when I speak to folks about this, I always question. And the reason I can do this, truthfully, because I like I said, I'm not gonna cast the stone because I was a Pinto. Was I a Pinto? Girl, yes, I was that Pinto. I had no I didn't see the worth. I didn't know my worth, and I thought that I was liked or I would be loved for by allowing anybody to wash my car or putting any type of gasoline in my engine. I it wasn't until I s I had some serious conversations with God, and we had to figure this out. And, I realized, yo, I was not created to be a Pinto. I was not created, I wasn't designed to be a Pinto. So I had to change up, switch up, and realize that I'm a Bugatti. We all of us, I think, children of God, we are Bugattis. God did not create us to be Pintos. We we allow ourselves to be Pintos. So my takeaway on this one is when you're out there doing you and when people interact with you, you gotta ask yourself, you know, and again, I speak from a female's perspective because I am not a man. When a man approaches you, ask yourself, "Yo, is he looking at a Pinto or Bugatti?" Right? Like, what kind that man? That's the type of man who would entertain a Pinto. And if he's coming to me, that means I'm giving out Pinto vibes. Learn from that. Don't be offended, right? Like, and that's a new thing, right? When these men come up to you, I know sometimes you're like, "Yo, are you serious? Like me? Like, mm-mm, no, thank you." No, but then ask yourself, what is it about that man, or what is it about you that made that man think he had permission to come through, right? Did you give out Pinto vibes where anybody can come through, a quick drive through, or are you walking like a Bugatti? My sister, um, sister number 3, we always made fun of her because since she was a teenager, she always carried herself a certain way. She liked Princess Diana. She legit did. She thought she was Princess Diana. She carried herself with such royalty. And as we got older, like the men that would approach her, I'm like, yo, what is it about my sister? These dudes, not that status matters, but in this case, the men that would approach my sisters were what's that term people use? High value, high quality, whatever, high value men. I was like, dang, right? And then here I am getting, little Joe and Thug Daddy talking about hey. I'm like, nay. Like, what is it about me that lets you think that this is okay? Because it's not. No. My sister, yo, she just always came correct. Always, yo, when she walked into a room, you're like, oh, there's a Bugatti. And you respected that. I walked into the room, you're like, Pinto. Hmm. So I had to change that, right? When I realized that I no longer got mad at the men who approached me. Rather, I got mad at myself. I got mad at myself for giving them a green light, right? I was like, no, 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 thank you. And again, I'm not Pinto men, I'm not referring to your status, monetary status, okay? Because when I met my husband, he didn't have any money. It's not about that. It's about character. It's about home training. It's about values. It's about ambitions. It's about dreams. You know what I mean? It's about, are you a godly man? There's just so much to it. It's not about money or status. But yeah, I stopped blaming the men and I started looking inward. Stop complaining, spending hours complaining about men, and I was like, "Hold up, Jen, what about you?" Right? I had to look inward and said, "There's something about you that attracts these Pinto type men." So I fixed it. Yeah, I fixed it, and, by the grace of God, I got it right, and I became a Pinto. No, I became a Bugatti. I was a Pinto, I am now a Bugatti by the grace of God, okay? Yep, I take that premium gas. Um, so yeah. So I'm just challenging you today. Evaluate yourself. Ask yourself, are you a Pinto or a Bugatti? If you're a Pinto, do what you need to do to level up to become a Bugatti and don't accept less. All right. God bless. Till next time. This was Commercial Breaks with Miss Education. Bye.